So I'm having to catch up with swimmers. How are you guys?
We're
Good.
great. We're great.
Good.
We just
Good.
lost Max. I
Oh,
don't know where he went,
he's
but
running into his
he's back
kettle.
out.
Well, yeah, the kettle was about to go off.
Prior Priorities. Kettle's important.
Yeah.
So you guys have been busy. Last year you released your latest record, Becca. For those who've not had a chance to take a listen to it yet, what can we expect to hear on the record?
It's yeah, it's just like a lot of songs we've been working on. There's some kind of punkier songs. There's some more kind of like down tempo indie rock bangers. And yeah, it's just we had a lot of fun making it. It's a lot of texture, a lot of yeah.
Yeah, it was the first time Cade ever recorded with us, which is why we called it our last name. So it was a what can you expect? Just a lot of heart and soul put into it and a lot of fun. It's really fun.
Nice, nice. And the sound that you've made with this record, was it the sound you wanted, or is it just how it turned out in the studio?
I think it's how it turned out in the studio. I mean, like we don't really go in wanting anything other than just wanting to have fun, you
Mm.
know?
Mhm.
After doing it this many years, you kind of like realize what your priorities are. You're like, you know what? The most important thing is that we all kind of like have this experience together. And then what came out of it was, in our opinion, we're like, wow, this is fucking great. Can I swear on
Not really, no, but I can understand.
this?
Yeah, this was probably, I mean, from my experience, watching them in the past, probably the most patient album. We spent like a whole year on it. And we had like three or four different iterations of a lot of different songs. So it's kind of what we just found in the studio when we were there.
Nice, nice, fair enough. And you've been releasing music for, well, about 10 to 15 years now. It's been quite a while you've been releasing music under different names as well. But how has the music and how have you guys evolved since the start through until now?
Well, Cole was in middle school when we
Yeah, yeah.
started releasing first. So what was that, like
We went
12?
through puberty, that's a big
That was a
change.
big change.
Um,
Um, now I'm 31. It's like the stuff has shifted not only with us, but just like the world of music has changed.
Hmm.
Uh,
hmm.
And what's cool though about us is like we kind of came of age at the end of this like do it live kind of era, and that doesn't really exist anymore, but we still kind of like take that into what we do. Um, so I think yes, a lot of things have changed. We've changed, but one thing that's remained the same is that it's all about the live show for us.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And speaking of changes, there's been some lineup changes since we last spoke and over the last couple of records. Kate, you've joined. What's it like joining your brothers on this, and how's it affected the band losing a couple of members and Kate joining?
It's been great for me. I mean, I've really enjoyed it. I've always kind of been on the sideline. I didn't play an instrument before, but I kind of always wanted to do it. I used to sell merch. I used to just follow them as a roadie on tour if I could. And it was just always something that was very inspiring to me. So when I had the opportunity to pick up bass, I just took it in a heartbeat.
I think what's changed for us is, Cole and I, we've always been close, but I think Cole and I have actually gotten closer as like songwriters and everything over the years, and having Cade join, it's kind of this natural it's kind of naturally become a brothers family
Mm.
band. Like our mom travels with us, sometimes our dad travels with us, our sister does all the artwork, and that's been like the main change from the personnel perspective. That's like it's actually kind of felt as if it was kind of naturally heading that direction.
Yeah, keeps the costs down as well when you're touring.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
Which,
Are you kidding me?
it's one of
It's
the,
great.
I mean, I think that's the interesting thing. It's harder and harder for a band to survive these days. And so any way you can kind of play what you have to your advantage, like that's gonna help you. And I think for us, traveling together, making music together, helped us just keep this idea that is SWMRS
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah,
It's been really cool.
and we're not really interested. Well, we might have to, but like the whole like be an influencer at the same time thing, where it's kind of helping us avoid that
Yeah,
because we don't really want to be influencers and try to like do videos to try to, I don't know. It's like we like to focus on the music and then keep making it a family thing has allowed us to avoid that.
Yeah, for sure. And we touched on touring as well. You've got some dates in Mexico coming up. I bet you can't wait to be doing them.
Oh
Dude,
my God,
it's
yeah.
our first time.
We were meant to play in 2019.
Then I got in a car accident, and then that kind of changed everything.
So now, yeah, this is our first time, and we're going to 5 different cities.
It's probably one of our biggest listener bases too, which
So
on Spotify, like on the map, it's like Mexico. We're like, wow, finally we get to go.
Yeah, I bet you can't wait. And once that's over, I think that's all that's been announced at the moment. So what else have you got planned for touring this year?
Well, we can't really tell you, but
You can tell
well,
me.
yeah, we can tell you, of course. No, we have some plans to do some stuff in the fall or in a little bit of more stuff in the summer, a little bit of stuff in the fall, definitely stuff in 2026 we're already working on.
Mhm.
So there's no plans to stop, which is cool. I guess that's the thing you can take away.
We're playing at a festival in Washington too,
Yeah,
in Seattle.
in Seattle.
Called Freak Out Festival in March. We
Yeah.
haven't fully announced, but I mean, I think it's out there publicly. We just haven't, like we do a lot of our back end logistics. So I personally haven't put that on our website yet. So
Nice. You hoping to come over here as well, back to the UK?
Oh,
Yeah,
always. Are you kidding me?
definitely,
Well, we
definitely.
we were just there. It was amazing, like a month ago, and
Mhm.
it was great to be back.
Mhm.
And yeah, we can't wait to come back as soon as we possibly can.
Yeah, it's nothing like it, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, that's our favorite place to play. But maybe like I don't want to like
Mexico might
offend
take
or
it,
jinx, but Mexico might, we don't know. It might be the best shows we've ever played.
Yeah, we'll see.
So
No jinxing.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I like to talk about the writing side as well. So for you guys, how do tracks normally start off?
usually as kind of like individual songs that either Max or I have been kind of like working through in our lives, like, it'll probably start with like I heard we were listening to an interview of Mick Jagger, and he described the writing process actually really accurately, where he said there's 2 sides. There's like the side that's just like random things that come to you, usually when you're really relaxed. And that's just like one line. And that happens to me as like usually
Yeah,
right when I'm falling asleep.
But
And
random
I
things.
lose half of them because I don't have enough energy to write them down. But we both keep like a log of those. And then there's the actual craft side where you sit down and you're like, all right, you like really painstakingly like write a song around that line.
And
So
we do that individually, sometimes together.
and then we'll show them to each other and kind of like give each other notes. Maybe we'll play through them on acoustic guitar together a few times. Show them to Cade. Cade usually gives notes. And
I'm pretty opinionated.
Cade has a lot of opinions about yeah. And then usually those kind of sit for a while so that you get perspective on them and you're like, okay, maybe this is ready to become a song that the band plays. And then we go and we play it in the studio or we jam on it, all 3 of us. But yeah, since we don't have like a fixed drummer, it's usually like the 3 of us together and then like in the studio, Wyatt, who plays drums with us sometimes, he's also our producer. So
Yeah.
he'll fill in on drums in that situation.
Nice. Yeah, nice. And tell us about the lyrics as well. How easy do you find it to write the lyrics to the music?
I find it really easy once I get in a flow. I love to write. I love to rhyme things. I love to just like sit down and play with words. I feel like there's the kind of nothing like more like indulgent and like like a more fun way to waste time to me than just like sit down and write a bunch of rhymes. When it's, I could be doing so many like productive things, and like this is just like doop a doop, the cat in the hat. But that for me it's like easy and fun, and I think it's a little different for Max.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of changed for me over the years. Honestly, like I was telling Cade yesterday that I feel like I used to write songs without kind of thinking so much. And we ended up yesterday, we were in the studio, we recorded a song that I wrote in like 2018. And it was crazy to record that song because I was in a completely different headspace, 7 years ago. And I wasn't really, and now I feel like every song I write, it's really easy to know what I'm writing about. I'm very like specific. I am very like there's a lot of intention behind like, oh, he's writing about this exact thing.
Hmm.
You know.
I
So it's
also
just kind of changed.
I also think when we like kind of edit each other's work and we're like giving notes, I think a lot of it we're always kind of pushing each other to make images
Yeah.
and sentences and ideas that feel like they're not forced. They're like
More of like
very
a
real and organic.
painting as
Um,
opposed to
yeah.
a, s-
And yeah, sometimes, and like I love rhyming, but like we're not gonna like rhyme for the sake of rhyming. Like
yeah,
it's gonna have
it's gonna have
some
some.
sort of meaning. And I think there's a perfect balance with songs where it's like you kind of want to achieve this balance of like personal meaning that's maybe a private thing to you, but then like finding what about the experience you're drawing on is something that
It's
is
relatable.
part of being a human.
Yeah,
Um,
because at the end of the day, we're trying to connect with other people.
mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
yeah. Fair enough, guys. It's been a pleasure having a catch up with you.
Dude,
Jim,
likewise,
Absolutely.
Jim. We hope to
yeah,
see you at Reading again someday.
Yeah.
We hope to see you at Reading.
Sweet.